is a top secret domestic surveillance tool that's used by police all around the country, in which they're bound by a confidentiality agreement.
The bread there though, you probably know, you're just telling the others, it's here, it's just here, and on the roof over behind this one. Here's someone on the roof. Oh, cool. They're there. He's just, Bonnie's. Bonnie's like, you're taking a long time, and you left this door open for, it's got to be 5 minutes now, and she's done well to hold off. And I haven't done what I've started to do many hours ago, because I know I'd like to follow it through at least a little bit, and as a blocker, and it's not necessarily my pigeon friend. He's just highlighting the grown man blocked by his mother's car situation, and maybe compounding it, helping me to compound the ridiculous potion of a self-spawned like silly man notion, and it's like I'm blaming me in a sense, but it's just it's ridiculous. And look, I also realised again, gone round it in my mind, and clarified for the umpteenth time. Well, the car is registered. These pricks have blocked my access. Well, I'm outside their jurisdiction, so that's whatever. So my old dude had to do it, but because they blocked the actual car, they've made it very difficult just to, and they've to continue to do business with them. Well, I don't want to do business with them anyway. For some time I've known that it's the lack of registration, because it's not registered. Sorry, officially they're saying, registration's expired, I blocked it from, being. Oh, do you have a record of it? Hypothetically here, okay, so you pull me over, you follow me fucking everywhere. Hello, much love. So let's not bring that blow off and pretend that's it's random. They don't even know what random means, these silly, stuck in the sand type minds, making them, hello, you know what random means, don't you? It wasn't random that you lay down there, you're not claiming it to be. Oh, very cute though, that's for sure. Oh, you're right, I'm going to put that down in your face. Oh, you're very cute. Very cute. Oh. Oh, you're right. The whole thing sort of moved. I thought the bricks were going to cave as well. So I broke a pump, hand pump, tried to fix it. Learned a bit more about it, didn't fix it. Reflecting, it's like, because without getting into it, one of the recent resets when I come out, my car was all clean and shiny, brand new. And the battery that was working 2 weeks earlier was through. Surprising. Probably so I procrastinate because at the moment fine. But more surprising. You slip minds. More surprising than it was a surprise that the battery was completely dead. Maybe a couple of weeks, and then I've tried to run it every now and again, but I was hadn't run it for a wee bit. But one of the forced visits to the ARC, the ARC of anyhow, I came out of one of those times one of three, maybe I think it was the second time, the first longer time, the time where I actually met some, well, very real blokes, and some other like minds had been harassed or otherwise collected, it seemed, at a particular point in time, and I put in a place that only later dawned on me, even though it was on a clothing, forced to wear, stripped naked, bare, bloody go, just it's to get, that's not, I'll just shut the fuck up on that, and whatever. It wasn't until I was looking at I was being reminded, looking at the picture I'd taken of the pay slip and whatnot, which there's more in that. But interesting how they'll like, they'll cut you off and change your title, or I don't know, is it a declination? That might be the wrong word, of your apparent role or your situation, as far as, well, they'll switch it to the estate now, without going off and all that. As it kind of dawned on me recently, I came out one time, that's the time that I started talking about, and I wanted to start my car. There was a reason for it, I can't remember quite recall what it was. It wasn't just a flea, but it was just generally, there was something. I wasn't able to. I think my plan was to actually just fucking go, because it was just been getting stupider, and it's like, I don't bloody do anything. Like, it's like, just let me, car's completely dead. I couldn't, no radio, nothing. Right? And not only that, it was schmick. Right? Now, when I say schmick, it was clean, polished. Oh, it looked brand new, relatively. I was quite surprised at that first. I mean, I was like, I think I noticed that first. I was like, but my mum was like, I cleaned the car. He was just looking so dusty, and I thought, that's odd. Given you won't even clean yours with the hand machine at the washing bay in the service stations or the car wash visits, no way. I mean, she goes and pays someone to actually to do it for her, even that stuff. I mean, I'll do it for her when I take the car. I have done a few times. I said to her, it's really easy, you do it quickly in $5, using doing the thing. But she's always like, no, it's too much, right? And like, fair enough. She said, I don't really necessarily expected it to do that. It's not, but yeah, interesting when I came back after, came back to re-establish my set in a way, still, stuck somewhere in the middle of the circle, and a little more infuriated, a little clearer, dare I say, less radiated, somewhat for sure. Hello, somewhat illuminated in the darkest of places. Well, in a way, because I actually met some really, I met some good blokes, and then actually it was positive, very positive in that, a number of senses in that regard. It was only a few days back, maybe a week or so ago, I was like, of course, they called it the Ark, and there's been a few things, but each time there's been some significant changes, and I was rounded up 2 times after noticing quite significant realm alterations, certainly in my mind, and having documented things over time. I mean, perhaps there's only a number that maybe cause some more concern for the, what's this, apparently there's a show, it's called the, I don't watch it, but anyhow, it's like the Dark Knight, it was Dark City, it's like whatever they are, doesn't matter, it's really not referencing a show, and it might be a point is, I've got one right here. Well, one of the blokes in there is a champion, really good dude. And I had seen something beforehand, like just flash past on the news, like, my mum, and thought, it was another poor bastard being used by the system. Right? It seemed like he'd already been done and said some stupid shit, which he did on Instagram, right? Well, then I kind of had forgotten that. I really wasn't paying attention. I'd really keep the heck away from the news. It's, nothing but a mind virus. Entire intention. It's a whole television is doing that, but well, Laz is champion, and so we had a good, really, really good dude, and he was back in there, but as in the remand centre, the ARC, the Adelaide Remand Centre, as he said, some breach or some bullshit, because this is what they do. He had effectively been tricked into signing effectively a guilty plea or something. I mean, he said some dumb shit about the police commissioner, but he also had seen his business firebombed in Prospect Council in the same area as the Chambers, as I understand, and then nothing, and so lost his lease, right? Nothing was being investigated. This is his word to me, and look, frankly, his word is worth lots. He's a real as, he's a bloody good bloke, and he's also maybe it's also to do with the net worth of his I don't know. What did I say at the time? Because look, we've been getting traded like friggin' chattel thereabouts, and look into it, work it out if you want. You don't have to. And Laz's situation was quite unique, not alone, but quite unique in that, well, he was born in, I'm going from memory here, so I might muck it up, but it'll be roughly there. So he's Serbian, but Serbia has been, one of the many nations that's been pummeled by the mind virus occupation. I mean, look, Terra Australis is still occupied severely with Otago and a lot of parasitic minds, it would seem. That's to me, and so perhaps the non-parasitic ones were rounded up and all fitted in the remand centre, or I think I'm rambling in a way I normally do, actually. He had done 5 months. He got put in the Atla for 5 months for making an Instagram video. And we were chatting. I was like, "What the?" I was like, "I didn't hear about it. What did you say?" Like, it was just something stupid about the police commissioner, right? About he was doing it as a character, like as in Laz he was doing it as a character, and he was just, and he gets frustrated. It's dumb shit to say, but there's no there certainly was no crime. And part of the concern has been it's effectively pre-crime, no trial, no assumption of innocence, merely you're being charged, you're the guilty one, clearly. Send some dumb meatheads round to hunt impacts, use weapons, talk you down as far as your reputation, the whole thing. That's what a lot of it's amazing, and the trouble is that a lot of the apparent minds, those that are left after the last pretty blatant scam that was run, the freaking virus of the sun, maybe. Well, a huge part of it is they create, I've said this already, so I won't dwell on it, but that's what happens, is they create the drama, the trauma, the scene. They create the atmosphere so that, one, it seems more believable, they come to fuck with you, but it's they try and destroy your character, and it's relentless because the spying and the underhanded, and the trees are backing me up, thank you very much, much love. That's what happens though. And it's like this Stingray thing, it's been out for years, like many years, where now I think it's tiny, but it's like I say it was a suitcase, it was bag size, but because your phone, your phone's pinging off. If you don't, you should know that. It's probably more, doing a lot more than that now, but 60 times a minute or something, every second it's pinging looking for the nearest tower. It's how the phone works as far as that's how you get to get the best. It's always looking for the best tower. And this has been known for a long time. They pay for it. Right? The police stations, council governments, the ones that you think that are there to help, are really they're just it's a logjam. They're here to hinder, steal all your data, all your shit, and think that they're the man and you're the minder. Nothing wrong with minders. It means shelter. And that probably won't make any sense to anyone that didn't live near Minder home, which but doesn't seem to be many Down syndrome folk left these days. And that's who used to be housed at the Minder home across the road from the school I sort of grew up and went to back in the day. We played basketball with some cool minders until then someone complained or said something, and the principals, and then it was banned. They weren't allowed to play with them anymore. There was one bloke, like red hair, and his girlfriend would be out there. They'd be waiting to play basketball, and it was cute. It was good. We played footy with them. We got in trouble. All right, fair enough. They're the size they're pretty strong, but sweethearts. Like they're children, kind of like children in adult-sized bodies. But anyhow, seemed like a divergent path, but no, it's actually quite. It's the verge. They fuck with the vulnerable members of society maybe it's as a rule, as part of, maybe that's what the hive suggests. Maybe they're just weak themselves, and they'd pick those off and keep an eye out for those who stick up for them, and ignore the rest. So the leaders that are inherently and probably that way set in motion at the precise time they entered the game, myself certainly included in that, and numbers wise, backs it up. Experience wise in the recent years, well, the 40 odd, it's like, I know that now. I know that. That's what I am. He also explained how the targeting programs that go on from the cowardly fucking liars that cry on and pretend they're here to help. But it's alright, just recalling, that's what Mindas, but the day that, remember how upset the dude was, and fair enough, he used to do massive dunks, like full of bomb, it was like, he was a great dude. Really, really sweet, like, his girlfriend would be cheering him on, or there'd be like sometimes two girlfriends he'd have out there. It was like, they weren't doing anything, as in like, they play basketball with the kids, like boys. I'm talking like we're in high school, adolescence. Nah, that's banned, and that was one of the marks of a steady decline. That probably the declination marker set some back before his or my time or current time. I mean, we just go round and round. That's what happens. We've been here before. We just don't remember it. Speaking to you, for me, and those of us who, probably, it's can't speak for everyone. And I think I was speaking for Laz momentarily. Recalling in part why I procrastinated on using my jump starter thing to pump up my flat tyre on my bicycle while I got a freaking ute, it's mine, sitting there, and I've got a motorcycle I've put together, an electric one. It meets all the, it's got indicators, got a horn. I've just been debating, really, it's a number plate situation, and I'm not evading the fucking morons. It's been, so I was, and I still might help join the Royal Registry thing, Michael Rolfe, just in the sense that, I want to provide support and say thank you for that situation. I don't know that I'm going to get a Royal Registry number plate, which I had intended, because, well, in part because the police have been targeting those vehicles, but also it's been there's been steady reminders, but you don't need it just needs to be a record, as I understand it. I'm going to do a little bit more still, but it's just a record. The details, registered, recorded somewhere, effectively with a third party, that it's registered there. That's so that if there's an insurance situation, that type of thing, yeah, that's where it's registered. That's what registration is. We've kind of been duped into the process that also, when you're registering it with the way we've been pushed, prodded, mind controlled, overly shuddered, when some of us have kind of realised, I mean, look, most of the shoving comes from the Stockholm Syndrome others that get angry when you try and point out that, you know, a bit of a problem, not just to moan, not to blame them, but to be like, seriously, this is the linchpin in a lot of the slavery system that I didn't consent to be in. Did you? Well, your driver's license, your birth certificate, or the estate name, using it and perhaps believing, dare I say, it's you. Well, that's the joinder, all right. That's a kind of a bit of an annoying whistle. That one. Yeah. Hello, thank you. Anyhow, I just had bits and bobs of different things. Whole relevant and going through my mind quite frequently with good reason. But I was just thinking, because with the raw register, I think you get a plate, right? It's a Commonwealth plate. You'd be like, oh, it's not registered with the state. Fuck the state. It's registered with the Commonwealth. Here's my thing. Here's the details. You're going to take it. So it's private property. All right. I'm telling you now, it's private property. Here's your notices. Here's your verbal notices. You have some written notices. Read the thing. But yeah, much like the police that organised that stole my motorcycle, they acknowledged it was mine. And then it ran out of registration, funnily enough, while it was with them. And then they sent letters immediately saying, oh, look, we're not able to keep it. You've been identified as the owner, which, well, you'd think, oh, great. Well, I kind of thought, at the point I didn't, because I'd been bashed and dragged out of my home as a result of that. Well, that was the precursor or part of the same event, which is still going, and yeah, it's ongoing, and again, part of the wake up and the encouragement, because sometimes, well, yeah, I don't yeah. So I've been given additional motivation to stamp it out or just make a step as far as the direction in this backwards, overly drawn out, harm, long time of something station I was going to go. One of them reasons I couldn't. So I've been helped in this regard, in that I blamed myself for a while. I was quite open about loving my motorcycle. I quite open about that, and I thought, and even the night it got taken, I knew. So much that I actually wanted to put. I was only going to get water. I was only going to get water from the shops, and I wanted to put my little action camera or something on there, because I could feel. And I said to a mate later, I hadn't seen a while. He turned up, champion. But and I was telling him the story, and I had to fill in on a few things that had happened. He hadn't seen me since my dog had passed away anyhow. But I was like, I knew. The camera was dying, and I'd had lots of phone problems. I was like, stop, But I knew the reason I was like, someone can still on bot tonight. If someone's going to trouble you, which is like, well, look, they did it in a pretty underhanded, sneaky, devious and dumb freaking way. But that's how the game goes, and it's only now. It's just that. And forward and backwards as time genuinely flows, it makes more sense. And to not be so attached to things is probably a reasonable lesson to have been given or to have been sent. So, and and a reminder that, yeah, well, everything's a cycle. That's what we do. We're constantly in it. It's a cycle of things. You know, that's what the familiarity of life is. Life in the sim is like. Being a sim, it just means that there's a realer version of this, which is, admittedly, it's tricky to imagine or describe or even decide, I suppose. It's become evident, certainly, to more than my eyes anyway, over time. Vatican and stuff seems disjointed, but they've not wanted to go to court. That's been fucking clear. They've kept harming. I've kept a regular thing, so yeah. And there's been some serious attempts to, like, I don't know, seriously dissuade one, and provide opportunities to sort of encourage one to perhaps flee the scene, but because there are a lot of them are, tangling and weaving a live deception, that was a Freudian slip, because there's a lot of freaking lies going on, a lot of dodgy, it's like, I'll leave it at that for now. I think lots of things are, and for many reasons I was planning to be around here around this sort of time in the last year or two, in any case, things as they were, so and that was raised as my own choice for my own personal reasons, and look after my doing all different things, right? So I said, because look, we do get, you manifest it, you get what you wish for, and sometimes it's not necessarily what I wish for, but I did certainly think, it's a pain in the ass moving out of things, and getting to the bottom of the bank situation, well, it was getting more interesting, but I was, closer to the bottom of that barrel than I probably had realised before it was mentioned. But regardless, well, I keep turning up, and there'll be a day in their pretend court, and a combination of the apparent records being kept will be an interesting observation. I don't know where they are. They don't seem to know. It's very, very fucking. Anyhow, who knows if it'll be the same magistrate? I mean, it's like a blank slate replay on the more than the dials of the magistrates that I've been seeing, and I say, and they just watch me over there. Okay, I'm not pointing at them because I'm going to be fucked. But anyhow, I just rambled on a whole bunch of a whole bunch of light that's jangled and jambled somewhat. Look, streamed within and without my mind is just, it's fairly, might look like a bunch of colours from standing elsewhere, but it's fairly clear, pure white light from my mind, and somewhat a bit too bright for the eyes that have been provoking over time, the sort of bullshit that frankly is always going to, I feel like I haven't explained that. I'm not getting cramps in my back and all the other things that I can't in my mind helping me to distract from the clarification right now on that fact, or the act that was set in motion, I think, way back, and dare I say, before this particular dream potion. The numbers, you get 2 birthdays, kind of touched on that, but Romney's been very helpful in uncovering a lot of that stuff. But you got 2. So the one that I've known is mine. That I allegedly came from the mother kind. She used to be kinder than the one I recall, but lots of things get provoked in this dream time, dream-a-thon of sometimes seemingly alternate kind of mind being Freemasonry. Well, they share my birth date, my born date, but the numbers are certainly it's part of the code of the place, and I wonder why I have. Well, they chose that date. I'd suggest. Perhaps I did too. Perhaps I chose both. Oh shit, that could complete part of the ribbon. Yeah. In some ways, explain share more without necessarily saying, but it's right. I'm going to stop. Going on. The further your actions diverge from your intention, the more diluted your absolute is in this ascension. Which from you understand dilute, like make it cordial, right? It's like I never really like cordial. It's too sweet. Whatever it's out brought, I would prefer water. Still do. Well, metaphorically, there you go. That'll work too. But I think. The more cohesive one stream is from the source. I'd suggest that's a design. It makes. Anyhow, I've not explained that well, and it makes a lot of sense. I'm hungry, and through that excuse, and I was hungry before, managed to block it out, forget it, because I was doing something important. I suppose I still am. Some more, just. So earlier I come out going, I'm going to turn the tap off, and then I turned this tap on. I was going to turn it off, and I went out the back, and I'd forgotten to turn the tap off that I just turned on. And I thought, wow, who'd thought? I realised, that type of thing happens a lot, and certainly beat myself up. Just saying. Let's go make any. Not an advert. Or a hello. It's not infomercial. Don't make enough sense to be I'm not selling anything. I don't see much. Poultry squawker. There's been a few groups of them going over lately, but I suppose they have groups of salt. They're no longer solitary, are they? There's 3 or 4 squawking though. This monstrosity I will spoken about, so I'm going through the rest of the motions. Who will? Oh fuck! And that's the other thing. being paid to deliver a message. If you're choosing to do it, you set. I mean, being paid. No offense, anyone. I get that we're living in a pretty shameful version of civilised in this apparent, well, dark ages to my eyes. But you must. Anyone that hears it, but this is, I'm not going to go anywhere. But whatever. I'll say it before I say it again. But just a dilution is what diluting is. That's what maybe it's like. It dilutes the message. 100, like by a lot. You can't clearly. I'm not saying that someone's being disabused. You can't trust someone's just saying that they're being paid. I mean, surely that shouldn't be a eye opener. It's a bit even like, yeah. It's just like, yeah. Oh, professional, yeah. Pro, yeah, all right. Well, that's just different to. It's yeah. I just stopped my whole thing again because excuses I made internally. But it pollutes. It doesn't just dilute a message. It pollutes a message. I'll say that. And in many ways, that's perhaps why a number of us are here to play the game. And, yeah, do things, for the way of the same way of the game, but the game isn't collect as many shiny things and control, and they'll get some dollars, and that's not. Yeah, it's not the foundation of the whole dream simulation. But you have. It's got to be. Yeah, you can't be told. It's got to be played to work it out, and you got to hurt to maybe not, but often to heal in that regard and feel. I mean, I don't think it's necessary. I'd like to think it doesn't take that to be real. But maybe it does. Either way, and realise you can't be killed, that helps. But you had to, again, it takes a bit to get that through one's head. When it's, just the transceiver and the top of the meat puppet suit we spoke out of at times, and he said, I don't know what else. But yeah. I mean, but credibility. Honour, we'll say. Well, so it's not cheap. It's on a different scale. It can't be bought, so I suppose, and it can't be sold, despite what we've been told. And it can only be found if you're real and you had to find it yourself. And you can't find. I mean, and it's never yourself. That's the thing. It can't be. Yeah, halfway contradict myself in the thing, but it's like, yeah. Yeah. The integrity factor, what I've been trying to spit out, is a design yeah, compactor diamond from it makes without being able to explain it, it's how it works. Authenticity. Yeah, it's yeah, can't I can't see the words out. Oh, myself go just the sliminess you feel from a salesperson, a full sale, you know, like I sort of found myself writing that early on, and it was horrible. But that kind of, and they don't notice. They think they feel that's the level of everything, right? They're just at that level of awareness. But it stops short at barely, it's only really got the surface, right? It's just barely the surface. It's not even really the surface. It's a faux surface, a fabricated surface. It's deception. It's got no substance. It's got no authenticity to that. And so I'm I suppose reiterating, you know, very generic, perhaps observation, but it's true and it's real. It's like, and not being forced to. Whatever you've been forced, you're choosing to do. There's four of the cockatoos. It's a choice. Right? You get forced. I'll be forced. So it's a way to work. You know, I hear what you're saying, but it's an excuse, and you still choose. And it's like, well, the messages are so polluted. It's far from diluted. It's a lot of pollution. The pollution that's streaming everywhere and stinking up this place is it's all over everything, and it's compounded by this consumerism, fake, say whatever it takes, make this sale, oh, good one, mate. That away, oh, we tricked another hapless fellow man or woman, a brother, you know, oh, we tricked that one into, good job, ring that bell, and that's, I need to ring the fucking bell. Who can be tricked into choosing to tell as many fucking lies as possible to, you know, collect some dollars and hold the prize. It's a very cheap game. It seems that way to me, but that sense that you feel the sliminess from a, you know, slippery used car salesman to, you know, provoke an overly drawn out but perhaps appropriate example. No offence to any, look, I've loved knowing some there, right? Can be. You can't fuck it, but regardless of how I trust someone like that, so you know what you're doing. If you're doing that, you are cheapening your stance in the realm of you're reducing, you're removing your ability to have a stance, or to have what I'm saying is a natural path that we have as part of nature. Like, it's actually like it's not a. Okay, it's a boy that cried wolf. That's telling us about. That's probably exactly what I'm saying, boiled down to a much nicer disclosure from an era that, well, maybe had passed down, maybe had a few. Yeah, who knows? But alright, that's a much better way to say it. But yeah, the boy who cried wolf syndrome. But we saw Wolf of Woodstock. He said, "What's it? Wall Street?" We fucking said, "Yeah, make some movies, celebrate that." Fuck yeah, that's the best. You know, for the I don't know, the soulless lot that won't confess, but they don't want you to do your best. They would rather bring you down, but they can't do it because you got to have consent. They trick you into choosing to do it, and I'm just saying, well, I hope it's not too late when you've found. But if it is, that's right. It's alright. You go around again next time, whatever. I presume that's how it seems to me. But yeah, there's another cliche. Something in that. There's somebody while the magistrates are disappearing as well. Perhaps suggest, and I'll say. Anyway, alright. Much love. That went on for ages, and I feel like it was very chaotic. Much love. Yeah. It can be. That's all.
With every technology, it has the potential for such enormous abuse.
Stingray.
See, even the assholes that have been doing sneaky, underhanded, terrible things, they know, right? They know that what they're doing is not. They might have tricked themselves into accepting it, right? But they know. And yeah. I say we're our own worst enemy, well, yeah, of course. And you're going around treating others in a certain way, you know. You've got it coming to you. It's how it goes at the end of the day, and I suppose. Yeah. Oh, something's got me right in the stomach. Like a hot beam just in here. Contract. No fear. It didn't even appear.